Hey Trish.
Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
Good. How's it going?
Good. Hi Olga, are you new?
Yes, I'm new. I'm Olga. I just started about like a month and a half ago, so I'm fresh
Okay, welcome.
out of
Welcome.
training. Thank you. Oh boy. I'm muting myself. This dog is crazy.
I hope you're not just recording for me, Trish.
I did. I'm specifically sent a message to Caitlin that we need to record for Gwen. And now here you are.
I know, I really wasn't supposed to be here.
I'm kidding. I'm sure other people will appreciate it. So it's something that is automatically going to be recorded anyway. Apparently you can do that in Zoom. Like you can set it so it starts recording automatically. So
Who knew? Okay, I'm ready to be wowed.
Okay, here you go.
Goodness. Hi, now we're unmuted. Oh, you already have a background. I was like, wow, look really nice.
Look at like this background. Where are you?
I'm like transported to like, oh, I love that. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's see if I can get.
Look at how tiny it is.
I'm sure both of you guys can fit kind of like this. And then we'll have.
Okay, maybe we'll need to do this. Okay, where'd I go?
It's only focusing on one at a time.
Trish, Val's waiting to get in.
I disappeared, here I am. Now I'm back. That's right. Is that good? Okay.
So,
All right, hello everyone.
all right.
All right,
How's everybody doing today?
Good.
doing good over here.
Good.
All right.
So is
good.
this gonna be like a Q&A? Or what's the?
No, you gotta perform, you gotta, yes.
All right. So I think we got a good attendance here, so we might as well just get started. So big thanks to Caitlin putting this together. Just want to mute some people who are. Make sure if you guys can mute yourselves, that'd be great. Just getting some background from people. Let me see here. There we go. Cool. All right. Great. So as we all talked about in the past, that we went over in the stakeholder meetings, and what you know from just the real estate community in general is, in this type of market, in any type of market for that matter, it's always good to sharpen our skills. And by sharpen our skills, it's knowing what to say, which makes us great listeners in the action, right? So, and sitting in front of our people. And what we orchestrated and structured today were people not within our organization, within Newtown, that have experience sitting in front of sellers and buyers, and they do a good job getting in front of them more often and get those tough objections at times, and they do a great job handling them. So we have Justin, Pat Straley, Tom Kennedy, and Matt Capusta that have volunteered to share their best tactics and strategies around what they say with the buyers and sellers. And where we wanted to start with first is we just wanted to kind of pair them in two groups. So we'll start with Pat and Justin. And guys, you guys have a great track record. You guys started in the Remax days, and you saw, what it was like in the traditional sense of the brokerages, being, salespeople, but now you've evolved into business people, but still the same conversations. Nothing really so much has changed, maybe a little bit of changing over the pandemic. But I want to start with, obviously we'll get into some objections and we want to see how you handle them, but I want to start with circle prospecting and calling your sphere of influence and past client database. So, Justin, we'll start with you. When you're calling your sphere of influence past clients, what are you saying tonight?
Yeah, hey guys, someone else is going. I'm getting a little feedback too. I don't know if everyone's muted.
Yeah, let's
there we
see.
go.
Who's the host here? I'm not the host. Looks like
All
we're
right,
good.
yeah, that's fine. It ended. So yeah, I'll give Pat some props actually first here. So I'm actually happy she's on the call with me. But Pat, more than any agent I've ever known or masterminded with, she is relentless and consistent with her database calls. And she, more than anyone, has been able to consistently, we're talking decades of consistent calls to the database, and it's yielded her, millions of dollars in GCI. And so she actually taught me that. And, no matter what, she would get those calls in every day. Now, I'll tell you from my side what I do, and I did my lead gen today. Karen's behind me. She'll vouch for me. And really what it comes down to is Ford. That's all it is, right? F-O-R-D. And it starts with family, right? How's your family doing? What's going on? Occupation is the O. Okay, how's work going? If they're a normal human being, they're going to ask you the same thing after every time you talk, right? So they're going to tell you how your family is. They're organically going to say, okay, how's your work? Then you can tell them how crazy the real estate market is, what's going on. Recreation is, are you guys going to take vacations this summer with COVID? And then dream is D. I very, very rarely get the D. And D is something like, what's your future? Are you looking to retire? Are you looking to downsize or something like that? It's pretty much, I'd say 95% of it ends at R in the Ford. So that's very simple. Family, occupation, recreation, dream. I do it with every single client. That's all I've done for years.
All right,
Justin,
great. That was awesome. And Matt, do you mind? We're getting some background from your screen. Do you mind muting yourself? I was going to bring you and Tom on a little later.
yeah, okay. I just wanted to add something on to him, but
Perfect. Yep.
is there too much background? Is that all right?
Noise in the background. Yeah, that was.
Yeah. No, having absolutely read it before, and I just want to add two notes on top of that was that I've been, some people who maybe I haven't spoken to since the last call, or maybe I haven't spoken to in a month or two. I've been actually going to their Facebook page, kind of refreshing myself with what they've been up to lately, and I found that you're able to find some nice kickoff topics for those conversations. Like, hey, I was looking at your page. How was Vermont, or how was that trip to Florida, or I've been able to find good content on their Facebook page that if I feel like I don't have anything to say and I'm nervous about that call, not nervous, but it's been really good to kind of kick it off and get them talking about themselves, and then able to just drive right into that Ford.
Great. Thanks for sharing. Pat, do you want to chime in with what your experience with calling your past clients in database?
Sure. This is what I do every day for the past 35 years is I just have every client and I have them all on the program so that I either call them, some of them every week, some of them once a month, and some of them quarterly. And the call just goes like this. I take good notes, number one, and just give them a call. Hey, how you doing? How's the family? Is everybody well? Glad to hear that. And say, what have you been up to? How's, what are your plans for this year or going forward, or if it's vacation or whatever it is, whatever time, what are your kids going to be for Halloween? Anything like that. And it depends on the time of year that I'm working with right now. Now, what I have been adding to my call is, can you do me a favor? Our inventory is drastically low. And I am finding that we have a lot of buyers that absolutely need a home. They're looking for a home, they need a home. Could you do me a favor? If you hear of anyone who is thinking or talking about moving, please call me with that person's name and contact information. I sincerely appreciate it if you do that. And then real easy, there'll be a lot of talking, I try to keep it short, but most of these people have turned into really close friends. So they'll ask personal questions and I try to tell them maybe one tidbit, not a whole lot, and just say, hey, the way I end it most of the time is, oh, could you make sure you tell Jim I said hi? And then I'm off the phone.
That's great. Pat, was there ever a time in your career where you weren't asking the question and you were calling your database, you were calling your past clients, but you didn't ask maybe a direct question of of something that you really wanted, which was, hey, if you hear of anyone looking to buy or sell, love to hear that.
Well, the way I used to end it was, and my clients, everybody still laughs about this, is, oh, and remember, I'm never too busy for your referrals. That's how I used to end it. Now that, we're in this pandemic, I needed to shift off of that and more into a more subtle, with the message I have now is I want to get our buyers into homes, not that Pat wants to get referrals. I want to do something for somebody else.
Right. Love that. All right, great. I think it's great methods. Now for Justin and Pat, do either of you do any circle prospecting with your mix? Either calling around a listing that you have, is that something within your practice?
So our team does it for sure. I've leveraged that. I've leveraged out of that, but yes, I have in the past. But that's something that's, that the team is held accountable for now.
And I have done it too. I also have my team doing those calls as opposed to me doing it. But when you do those calls, always ask, do you know of anyone thinking of making a move either now or in the near future? One quick sentence. And that has been a great source of referrals and leads for me.
Yeah. Yeah, when I was on Justin's team, I was doing it as much as I could for any listing that he had. And of course, if he didn't have a listing and someone else within the office had one, I was for sure doing it as well. But for example, if Justin had an open house on the weekend, I would call the surrounding neighbors in that neighborhood. So Pat, let's just role play. I'll be the agent and you're a resident that lives on the street where Justin has a listing. So ring, ring, ring.
Hey, hello.
Hey, hello, this is Adam. I'm calling from Keller Williams Newtown. How are you?
Good, good. What can I do for you?
Hey, yeah, the reason I'm calling is because I'm a real estate agent at Keller Williams Newtown, and I recently listed your neighbor's home across the street. It's 123 Main Street. It's the house with the blue window shimers or window panes. Do you recall that home?
Oh, I'm so glad they're moving. How much are they asking?
That's a good question. It's listed right now for $459.9, and it hits the market tomorrow, but we're not going to allow any showings until the open house this Sunday, which is the main reason why I was calling. Since you are a neighbor, I wanted to let you know that, I know neighbors are the first to know about some people that want to move into the neighborhood there. So I'd love to place some good people in that home. Does anyone come to mind?
Well,
Maybe any friends or family members that might want to move in?
My sisters talked about it. How can we get her into the house to look at it?
Well, I'm so glad we called. And forgive me, your first name is, I'm seeing here on the list, is your name Pat?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to make this too cold of a call. So Pat, I think I'm so glad we connected. What I would want to do is when I get off the line here, I would love to email you my contact information, and maybe you can set up an introduction with your sister. I'd love to get her in there for a private showing, maybe before the open house. I just need to get permission from the seller to do that. If we can work something up like that, do you think that'll be okay?
Okay, I'll tell you what, Adam, send me your information. I don't want to give out my sister's information until I talk to her first.
Perfectly fine. I will go ahead and, you know what, for some reason, your email did come up here. Is it patisthebest@gmail.com?
That's good.
Okay, great. I'm going to email you my contact information, and I would love to help them out. Just let me know. And if you can think of anyone else other than your sister, maybe she passes up on it, just let me know. I'd be happy to help them.
Oh, sure. Thanks.
Okay, great. Take care. Bye-bye. So that's it. Break script. It's been a while since I made those calls, so I did the best I can on that. But very easy. I think people in the neighborhood, she knew all about them. She said she wanted them to leave. So those calls can be a lot warmer than you think. So that was great.
Real quick, we're in here with Karen, and she's remembering the days when you were in the office doing this. And look, a big shout out to Adam. It was a non-negotiable from 9 to 11, and it was 20 contacts, and that's it. And even if he didn't get to the 20 contacts, he would continue his lead gen until he reached that. And his cell phone was under the desk. He was on the stand-up desk, and he was just hammering through circle prospects just like that. So it yields a lot of great results, even so much so that Adam's out of the role now, and we're still contacting people to this day and getting business from some of those contacts that he made, because he kept such great notes and had so many more opportunities from circle prospecting and lead generation.
All right, great. So let's move into some objections that you would get from sellers. So we're staying with Justin and Pat here. So you guys can raise your hand. I'm gonna be a seller, and you guys, either one of you can raise your hand if you want to take this objection and show us how you handle it. So we'll get into script right now. So, hey, you're great. I met with an agent who can do this and sell my home for 4%. Can you charge 4% listing commission as well?
Pat and I are gonna fight over this one. I don't care. I don't care. I have a real quick one for it. So
Okay, go ahead, you do
all
it.
right. So I say I appreciate that, Adam. And so let me just get clarity around this real quick. You're telling me that you out negotiated that agent for his money. Is that correct?
Seemed that way. I just asked, and he just offered it and said yes.
Okay. So what do you think is going to happen when he's negotiating for your money?
I guess I'd be a little concerned. What do you think? Do you think just because he can't fight for his own money that he won't fight for mine? Is that what you're leading to?
There you go. You said it. So, we're very aggressive with our negotiations. We do not come off of 6%. We feel that's our value. And, we will do the same in negotiating on your behalf. So let's sign it here at 6% and move forward.
Yeah, my wife had the same type of thing. She felt a little funny with that too. Okay, great. Come on over. I'll sign. Let's do it.
Okay, can I add?
Yes,
Okay.
let's get into it. Go ahead.
Can I add? All right, so 4%. I'll tell you what. Do you have any time today, maybe 2 or 3 o'clock this afternoon? I'd like to come over and show you what we do for 6%, because I want to say this in a very nice way, but there are some agents that shouldn't charge over 4% because of the job that they do for their seller. And I just want to show you what we do to get you the max price. Right now, there are a lot of offers on one house, excuse me. However, you need to be sure that you're guided to pick the best buyer that will get you to the table under the best terms. Would you be interested in sitting with me so that you make the best decision?
Yeah, are you saying that it's not just I go with the top price and that's it? I mean, that's what my uncle's telling me to do. He sold real estate out in Florida, so I don't know what else you could tell me of value that you can
Well,
bring.
I'll tell you what, we have this whole system here at Keller Williams that we brought in about 1.5 years ago, which does a comparison of all of the offers. We've had as many as maybe 47 offers. How are you going to figure out what is the very best buyer? It is not only the dollars.
Okay.
Would that be of interest to you, to know that you are being able to see clarity and pick the best buyer?
The other thing
Yep.
I'll add, Mr. Seller, is what concerns you more, what I charge or what you walk away with at the end of the deal?
What I walk away with at the end of the deal, definitely.
Right. I have a track record of selling homes over asking price. If you trust me in my pricing strategy, I'm worth every dime.
Okay. Yes, to both of you. If you're tag teaming me, I'm available at 3:30 today. Come on over. All right. Great job, everyone. That was good. All right. Let's see here. I'll jump into one more with Pat and Justin, and then we'll move to Tom and Matt here. So all right. So here's another one. All right. Ready? So great. I want to buy my next house before I sell the one I'm in. I'm afraid once I sell, I won't be able to find anything to buy. There are no listings out there. I think I should just wait.
Well, I understand why you would want to wait. It is kind of scary not having any place to put the kids and the dog and your wife all at the same time.
Yeah.
However, what we've done on this market is developed a program so that we give you the contingency of finding a home, so that you know what you have in your pocket, and then that buyer has to wait for you to go out and find your home for you and your family. Would that be of interest to you?
Yeah, if you're saying that I get control in that for the timing for me to find something, I never knew that. Absolutely. Let's do it. Great. Love that. All right. Let's move on to Tom and Matt. So Matt, you had talked about the way that you're talking with your past clients and sphere of influence. Tom, did you want to, we'd love to hear what you've been talking about with your past clients, and because you had a great year during a pandemic. So yeah, talk us through what those conversations sound like with your sphere and past clients, Tom.
Well, with Sphere and like pipeline and people that were kind of on the fence, I mean that like I had a full pipeline at the time, so that getting the people off the fence, they really just needed a voice of confidence. They needed to know that things are still moving, real estate's still happening. You can still list your house, you can still sell your house, stuff like that. But I mean, as far as my normal calls to Sphere, I mean, I keep an eye on social media, Facebook, Instagram. If I see a life event, it's a perfect excuse to pick up the phone, give them a call, congratulate them for having a child, getting married, whatever, and really have a personal conversation. Or if they're just on my list to call, I'll pick up the phone and be like, hey, Adam, I was just thinking about you yesterday, or I was driving by your house yesterday and I thought of you guys, and I just want to make sure you guys are still loving your house as much as the day that you bought it. Stuff like that.
No, yeah, Tom, it was great. Thank you for everything you did. I'm a little upset though that we couldn't negotiate 10 grand lower though for the house. I'm really still upset about that. No, I'm kidding. That, by the way, that never happens, right? Never happens.
Never.
So Adam,
Asking over. Go ahead, Matt.
no, so one thing to add to that too was, I know in Bold and from David Long last year and from talking to Justin, one of the things that I know helped me in being more confident, not only in talking to my Sphere, but a little more diligent in making those calls, was getting rid of the blocks that were in my database, right? Getting rid of the people who I would look at and dread calling or didn't want to call or felt uncomfortable to call, and really focusing my Sphere and limiting my Sphere down to those people who I could diligently work through that list and work through my database. I found there was just a lot of dead weight that was just reducing the quality of my database and making a task seem more overwhelming. So when I cleaned that out and really focused on the people who I needed to be focusing on in my database, I felt that I was more diligent and more real and making those calls, and it just went started going a lot smoother once I shifted and kind of got rid of some of that dead weight.
Yeah, we were lucky. We had a really good coach that taught us that database maintenance cleanup. I all the Bolds that I took in the past, no one really harped on that. And yeah, David did a great job with those scripts, and a lot of people were like, really, you just call even if you don't know them? And what if they're like, who are you and how do you get my number? You just stick with it. I have no idea. That's why I'm calling. Do you happen to know anyone that wants to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? That was really good. All right,
yeah,
great.
Cleaning up your database is great, but and the DT is a great system as well, just to keep you on task. But the one thing that I just want to mention is that your database, people in your database are not created equally. You need to contact everybody periodically, but there's certain people that you're going to want to reach out to more than just when they come up, more than once a quarter. These are people who help feed your business, and those are the people you want to focus on.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. Absolutely. And in the stakeholder huddles, the people that are attending that, we know that, right? Because we've been talking about that, the Mets and the haven't Mets in your database, and knowing what Tom is getting to. The people you connect with more are the Mets, right? The people that will refer you and know you as number one or number two in mind share of a real estate agent. So great, love it. So Matt and Tom, I'm going to throw out a seller objection, and you, either one of you want to raise your hand, you want to tackle it, you can handle it. So, all right, so here we go. All right. This is great. I want to wait till the spring to list my home.
So I can take that. So spring is always a great time to sell. So let me just dig in a little bit. When you say spring, what is your ideal time that you like to move by?
I'd like to be out by, ideally April 30th.
April. Okay. Is there a reason? Are you moving? Is there a new job? What's tying you to April?
Yep. So yeah, definitely by the spring, I would like mid to late spring. I'd love to be near my family again. Most of my immediate family lives in the Collegeville area, so I'd love to, sell our house here in Newtown and be back in that area.
Okay. So what are your plans after you sell? Do you have another house lined up, or do you have to find a home?
So I would have to find a home, definitely.
Okay, so we have to work on helping you find somewhere there first. So would you be able to wait until May or June or July or August, or are you really shooting for that April timeframe?
could wait, but ideally it would be amazing if we could make this all happen, sell the house on April 30th and have something lined up. I just think that it's not, I haven't been seeing anything out in the Collegeville area that's gonna make us want to start this process now. You know what I mean?
So what would you say is more important to you, the date or the price that we can get for your home?
I would say the price for the home, because obviously I would need that money to help me with the next purchase of the home.
Right, so we can work off of that. So right now it is a very vibrant seller's market, and in that you have a ton of leverage, and we can use that leverage really to get you the best price, and we can work into that the timeline that works for you, right? So buyers are very likely now to work with you to secure the terms that you want for your home. So what I'd like to do is, how about I stop by tomorrow night and we can put together a strategy and a timeline that'll get you both your best price and a timeline. Now, if I can get you out of there in March and find your home in Collegeville, is there any reason you wouldn't want to make that move sooner?
No.
No, okay. So what I'm gonna do is, why don't I come by tomorrow and we can look at where you're looking to go, and we can put together a plan and a timeline to get your home sold, find your buyer and get you the price for it. How does that sound?
That sounds good. What time? What time are you thinking?
I can come by whatever works for you. How about 6 o'clock?
Okay, 6 o'clock. I'm not signing anything that, but yes, you can come over. We can talk.
That's right. So hopefully, will your family be there with you then? I'd love to meet your wife as well. We can talk about what you both would like. Okay, perfect.
My wife will be there as well. Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Let's do that. We'll 6 o'clock tomorrow, and we'll take a look at your home. We'll see what we can do and put together, just a plan, and we can have a discussion.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, Matt.
Thank you.
All right. That was good. That was really good. You know what? Did anyone notice the downswing when he asked me and he went right to the close to get that appointment? Just like, hey, are you available? How about I stop? He said, how about I stop by tomorrow? Kind of like assuming like I'm liking everything that he's saying. Did anyone catch in on that? Anyone catch that? Yeah. Yeah, that was really good. And then it really tied into the objection that I gave to Pat and Justin earlier. When it came to I need to find something first to buy in order to sell my home. So it was just the same. It just you get to that level of motivation, which he was asking for me. And it really came down to price. And he knew that I answered his questions. I said that I needed to have that money because that was a factor. What I sell my home for is I'm hoping good equity to roll into the home that I buy. So he knows, okay, I'm going after that same thing that Pat was taking that angle toward when she was talking with me. Hey, let's talk about how you have control in this market as a seller's market to buy you some time to get your home under contract and then also find another home. So having your cake and eating it too. So that was great. All right. So Tom, did you have one for that as well?
I really liked what Matt said. The one thing that I like most about what Matt says, usually it's the same way I would do it. You got to ask questions, find out why they want to wait until spring, because then you can really isolate the problem. And then once you can isolate the problem, it's easy to solve. It's very broad when they just say, I want to wait for spring, and you don't know why. So find out why, and then you can address that particular objection.
Yeah.
Right. And Matt did that very well. The other thing I would say is, there's other options, right? Especially for people that need to sell, need like a home sale contingency, and that they're just not competitive right now. Like anybody that's throwing offers knows that's not going to fly. There is the sale and lease back option, so they get to pull their equity out of their home now when the market's super hot. And now there's no home sale contingency. Now you're 20 or 30% down, and you can really compete in the market and, get the home that you really want rather than settling. Because who wants to sell their house they're in to settle on something else just because it's available? No, sell your house now, get top dollar, stay in your house on a lease back with the buyers.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have all this equity, or now you have all your proceeds, and you can compete with all the other buyers in the market.
Yeah.
And get the house you really want.
Yeah. Love that. Love it. Love it. All right, Tom and Matt, here's another one for you. Ready? So, okay. I know a bunch of realtors. My good friend is actually a realtor. What makes you different than everyone else?
Go ahead, Tom.
You want me to toot my own horn right now?
Go ahead. Hey, it's all yours. You're here at my dining room table.
All right. Well, Mr. Seller, I can't sit here and tell you that I've been doing this longer than every other realtor, but what I can tell you is that in my time in this business, I've already made a big impact. I serve on the leadership council of my office, and I have for the last 3 consecutive years. I just completed my 3rd full year in real estate, and I sold over 13 million in sales. So, you know, yes, people have done this longer than me, but I'm doing it more effectively. I'm very much plugged into digital marketing because I believe, and the reality is, homes are bought and sold right here. So I optimize your presence here. Also, I work for the #1 real estate company in the world, Keller Williams. I have exclusive partnerships with Google and Facebook, which further promote your listing and everything that I promote online and give you preferential placement on all of these ads. What does that mean for you? It means you get more eyes on your property, more feet in the door, more offers, and more money at the end.
That sounds good. I am on Amazon all the time, so I think I think that would be very valuable if you know, if you were communicating. And yeah, all right, yeah, sounds good. Sounds
Yeah,
good,
and I mean
Tom.
now more than ever, Mr. Seller, people are spending more screen time. I mean, they're working from home, they're no longer commuting. You know, people are buried in their phone, and that's where I intend to sell your house.
Great. Love that one. Love it. Love it. That's it. So what he did right there, underlined it, value proposition, right? He went over what he did in the past, in his past experience. He just laid out his value proposition. So that was great. Matt, did you want to have one?
You know, my approach is probably, I think it's going to depend on how hard that is put forth. So, you know, my approach is, if I can get in the door, I don't like to lead with my value prop on, if I have a small window. If I can get in front of them, and my goal is to get in front of them, is to get in their kitchen or on their computer so that I can kind of go through some of the things and work with them and have those discussions. My approach is more, look, I can certainly appreciate that your friend is a realtor, and I'm sure they're going to be over the moon happy that you think so highly of them, you know, but maybe there's a way that I can help you feel even more confident about that decision, you know, and you know, what would you say is the #1 factor in getting your home sold? Adam?
Yep, #1 factor would be getting the price. It's got to be for the right price.
Right. So while price is a big factor, I mean, the truth is that, you know, you are the #1 factor, and more specifically, it's going to be the decisions that you make. So your decisions on list price, your decisions on your availability to show it, decisions on the condition of the home, decisions on the offers that I want to bring you, right? These are all the factors that are going to get your home sold. And part of that is the decision that you're going to make on the realtor that you choose, right? And the best way for you to make a decision is by actually having a choice. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what I like to do is help you make the best decision so that you can feel confident in moving forward, whether it's with your friend or it's with me. You know, I don't want you to have any regrets. You know, so how about I stop by tomorrow and, you know, we can discuss what you're looking to accomplish, you know, what you want to get out of your home sale, what you're looking to do next. And we can see, you know, how can I help you get there? And then you can make feel confident you're making an educated decision. Sound good?
That sounds good.
Yeah, Adam, you said when I was talking to you that I was already at your dining room table. So I don't know if I would have laid it out like that until I got to the dining room table.
Yeah, I mean, Tom, you're right. I mean, when I'm at that point, I go after on all those value prop points. It's just, I think you have to read the room a little bit. Like, I know sometimes they're just, you know, I can't get all that out on the phone, or it's just not the mindset. I think that your approach is great. I think it's just reading the room a little bit too, right?
Yeah, you have to read the room. Absolutely. If you feel like you're about to lose them, I mean, you do whatever you have to do.
Well, I usually lead with it's not Tom Kennedy, is it? Because I want to save you. Okay.
Yeah, the worst.
Yeah.
This is awesome. How's everyone enjoying this? Everyone getting good value out of this? Thumbs up if you are. Great. All right, let's keep it going. So Pat, I'm gonna include you in as well. Justin, I don't know if he left the office or not, but Karen, did he leave? Yes or no? I don't know. All right, we'll let it go. He left. Okay. All right, so here we go. So either one of you, if you want to raise your hand, you can handle this. Ready? So here we go. Okay. You're amazing, and I want to interview other agents though. Go ahead, Pat.
I understand that. Can you can you tell me what would you want to hear from another agent that we haven't reviewed ourselves?
It's a good question. I just want to make sure I net the most amount of money in this home. So I want we didn't talk about the commission on your home. I don't know if there's flexibility with that, but netting the most of my home is most important to me.
Well, let's look at our program here. And then at that point, I would go on for about, half an hour and go through each aspect of what we're doing and isolate. For instance, if I could I would isolate how they're going to be exposed on the internet and the program that we have set up to expose the house on the internet. Is there anything you would want done differently than we're having done now?
No, that's basically it.
Right. Okay, so how about the price, the value that we've established?
So I think you have great experience in this industry. I don't know. I think we could list it maybe just 15 grand higher.
You know something, a lot of people say that now, and we have found that listing the houses just a little bit lower drives the price up. Would you be interested in having your price driven up?
So what do you mean by that exactly?
Well, we have this house priced here at 500,000.
Mhm.
And you'd like to ask maybe 525?
Yes.
Okay, understood. So last week I priced the house at 499, under 500. And you know how much we sold it for?
How much?
560,000. And we had 10 offers. Would you be interested in knowing how we deal of increasing the price from 500,000 to 560,000 and make sure we have a buyer that will be able to arrive at the table and not have any appraisal problems?
You say it like that, why wouldn't I? Absolutely.
Yeah, we've been through the past couple of years, and I won't say that we've met every challenge, but we've met some challenges. And what we've done is initiated programs and systems so we can make it easier for our sellers. Are you interested in that degree of experience?
Yes, I am.
Okay, sign right here.
Okay. With this
Okay.
pen? Okay, great. All right. Great job. Sign right here. Sign the contract. Yeah. Love that.
Yeah, I may say something like, do you believe in my ability to sell this house for the top dollar in this market? And if they say, yes, I do, then I would say something like, well, listen, I know you have an interview scheduled for another agent tomorrow. Why don't you give me their number? I'm happy to call them and let them know that you're proceeding with me as the listing agent. That way it's not uncomfortable for you and I'll take care of it.
Yeah. And then Tom, I think I know what the answer is going to be to this question, but what if they say, well, most times they won't say they're not confident, right? So it would just be getting the isolation again, right? Just finding out.
Right.
Yeah.
If they believe that I can sell it for, maximum market value, then what's the issue?
Yeah.
Do you not
Cool.
trust me?
Right.
You have to get to the bottom of it.
Right. All right. Let's move on. Go ahead.
Can I just add
Sure.
something?
Yep.
So when you're going out on a listing appointment, you should always know your opponent or who you're up against. So ask that name. Are you speaking to anyone else? And this is a question that I find very scary for me to ask, because I want to think I'm the only one they ever thought about. However, when I ask that question, are you interviewing anyone else? And they give me their name, then the first thing I do is I go to Bright and I look up the production of that agent and I look up the experience of that agent. Not that I'm going in and going to say anything about that agent that wouldn't be, that would reflect
Right.
badly on me.
Right.
However, I know how to play my own successes then in front of that seller. So always know who that person you're up against, and always know who that person you're up against when you're trying to close a deal too, on either the listing side or the selling side.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really important for sure. All right, great. Great job, guys. So we'll get into one more here. So I know that inventory is low, and regardless of what you think the property is worth, I want X amount of dollars for it. I want $525,000 for my home, and that's what I'll be getting. Anyone would take that?
What would happen if you didn't get 525,000 for your home?
We'll just wait next year, or we'll wait and we'll push it off later.
Okay, so where were you going to go, Adam?
We wanted to move to the shore
Okay, why?
because we have a shore house there, and it was our goal to retire there. So that's definitely where we want to be.
So that, you know something, Adam, you are in the very best position to sell because you already have a house at the shore, correct?
Correct.
And what year did you buy that house?
I bought that house in 2009.
You probably got a really good deal in 2009 on that house.
I did. Yep, I did.
Did. So how lucky are you? This is 2021 and houses are selling at record rates and they're getting 20 offers. How lucky are you to sell at the top and buy at the bottom?
I know. I am in a lucky position right now. That's why I know I can get so much more.
You can get a lot, but what I would recommend is let's get this house on the market at $499 and the market will take it where it should go.
Okay. All right. I'll tell you.
Mr. Seller, Mr. Adam, you want to get 525 for your house. Would you agree that probably most buyers are going to be getting a mortgage?
Yes. Yeah, makes sense. Hopefully they're the
Yeah.
cash buyer, but yeah.
Well, houses are selling at historical highs right now in our market, and that's in large part to the fact that interest rates are historically low. You know, now
Right.
interest rates they can't stay this low forever. And right now, buyers have a lot of buying power. That's why homes in your price point right now are selling at historical highs. All those people that need mortgages, conventional mortgages, they're right in your wheelhouse. So you have so many available buyers because they have more buying power right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Money's cheaper, so they're qualifying for more. So now you got people who maybe couldn't qualify if the rates were 5 or 6%. They're now here. So now they're going to be one of our 20 offers. And this market is going to pay you exactly the top dollar that people are willing to pay you right now. If we wait too long and let those rates come up, we're going to miss out on some of those buyers and some of your money on the back end.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, you can come over. I'll listen to you. I just think that if we do get it higher, there's got to be at least one bite on it and we can negotiate, you know?
Well, would you rather negotiate with one bite or 20? Because who do you think holds the power when we have 20 buyers on the hook?
That'd be me.
That would be you.
Us. Okay. Yeah. Great. You available tomorrow at 6?
Yeah, would you like to sign in blue or black ink?
Blue would be great. All right.
I don't know, we had 6. Now are we going with another agent? I thought we were.
I'll call you, Matt. I'll call you and let you know.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, great job, everyone. I mean, guys, I'm very impressed with what these 4 put together and the way they handled it. The courage to hop on in front of everyone too. Lean on them too. If you see them in the office, You know, they're not the type that are just going to shut the door and not share their practices. If you had a recent listing appointment and you've gotten a tough objection, you know, reach out to these people. They know how to handle it, and they're going to be very open to sharing their practices with you. And you know, that's our culture here. So I'm happy that Caitlin was able to orchestrate this, put this together. And you know, we'll put more of these up in the future. We'll have different objections and see how people handle it. But this was great. Does anyone have any questions on what you heard, or maybe there were certain terms that you wanted to get more information about? All right. Val, looks like you're unmuted. I don't know if you're saying something, but I can't hear anything come through. All right.
Guys, don't be afraid to ask questions ever. You know, it's the only way you get better.
Yep.
I have a question.
Go ahead. Hey, Tatiana.
Hi. Tom, he was saying about the contingency, whenever you buy a home or sell a home, you could like tell him about how unless you're like already settled on a home, you still live in it. What are they called again? Can he elaborate a little bit more on that?
I think you're talking about the sale and leaseback arrangement. So
Yeah, whenever you guys were talking about the college will example, whenever Adam wanted to move like in the spring and you were telling him how the price is more important than than getting out in spring, you brought up these contingencies or something of that nature.
I talked
Do you
about
remember that?
I talked about the sale and leaseback allowing sellers to pull their money out of their home and have like a short-term lease agreement with the buyer, which allows them to stay in their house. And then they have all their money from their sale already because that's already completed. And then they're more competitive in the buying market.
Okay, so what is it called again?
It's a sale and leaseback. So basically you do a traditional sale with an addendum that allows the seller to stay in the house and pay the new buyer. Essentially, they're paying them rent for a couple months while they find their next house.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Those things are important to know because you could
Well, no, it's a really important point because I think that this is the biggest problem we're facing right now. And I think that there's so many people here that have given up because, I need to sell my home to buy my next home. I have no chance. Well, I mean, we have to think outside the box. I believe that is our inventory problem. The people that are just holding on to it, even though they want to move, willing to move, but they don't feel they're competitive because they're not offered these solutions.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Great question. Yeah, the sale and lease back. And I just put in the group chat too. Maybe we should, I'm thinking about designing a class around that. Maybe we could have Larry or someone who's experienced with it, like Tom or Pat, teach that. But I think that'll be worthwhile for people to hop on there and really hear how that works.
Heather was talking about this acceleration class where you can like put in like one bid and you can overbid somebody by 1,000 up to a certain amount. I thought that was a really cool one.
The escalation addendum, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a must. Yep. Well, that's good. It's good you guys are learning that from her.
Can I
Yes.
ask a question? What script are you using when people say, I don't want to move now because of COVID?
Me?
Anybody? I have a hard time with it.
I mean, I kind of go back to the strength of the market and tell them, listen, I can have this sold in a weekend. You know, we're not going to have people trouncing through your house for months, you know, people we don't know. You know, I'm going to limit the amount of people in the house at the open house. We'll sell it over the weekend. You know, if you want to have the place cleaned afterwards, it will be money well spent because we're going to be netting a ton of money right now for you. So
Yeah, I like
spend the
that.
money on the cleaner, you know, and move back into your house.
And Airbnbs at certain locations are pretty inexpensive now if you had to put somebody up for a weekend just to get their house sold.
I have
Yeah, I mean,
Val's
it's not easy.
question. What if you're an agent without that much volume? How do you sell yourself?
You can sell them on your availability, your passion, your desire, your number one focus is going to be getting their listings sold. Like I am going to wake up every day until this thing sells and work on it constantly. I mean, you can actually say, because I don't have 20 clients right now, you're going to be my sole focus. Cater to your every need,
Yeah.
That's kind of how I started, I guess.
And
Yep.
the power of KW and who you have behind you.
Good
is-
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you can you can still use the script about selling their house on their phone with KW, the number one real estate company in the world, with these exclusive partnerships with Google and Facebook. You can still sell all that.
And you can use the company's numbers, like KW Newtown's numbers. What's the easiest way to get that information fast?
Ask Caitlin.
Yep. You can ask me too. I can get those numbers for it. But yeah, it's exactly right, Gwen. So if you're a solo agent and you're not on a team and someone questions your abilities or your experience, you let them know that you joined Keller Williams Newtown and you consider that as your team. And we'll have the numbers and you can show them how much volume they sold in the past year, how many units, and just so they know the type of support and guidance that they're getting, that you're getting. So I think that's good. Just treat us as your team.
Yeah, I just want to add something to do. I mean,
Matt, I think anyone here? Matt, we can't hear you. I don't know what happened to your volume or your mic.
am I breaking up?
You're good now. Good now.
Okay. Initially, I mean, you can't hide from it. So I think to Tom's point, you have to be able to respond to it. I mean, I also looked for things in my past careers that were strengths that I was bringing to the table here. So I know some of that is specific, and some people might have things that others don't, but you can't hide from the fact that you're brand new. So I try to use office numbers. I used office numbers, and I pulled on the strengths of what I have done in the past. 20 years of corporate marketing, bringing, selling a house, negotiating contracts, things like that. Anything that you can bring to the table to show that while this might be new to you, it's not your first day doing the things that are going to be important and necessary to get the home sold, right? And to make this a good experience for them.
Yeah, good point, Matt. When I first got started, I came from the golf course industry, which you would think there's no translation. But when I bring that up, I'm like, it may not matter, it may not sound like it matters to you, but what that means is I'm used to working 90 hours a week.
Yeah.
I am gonna work harder than anybody on this, and that's gonna be a benefit to you.
Right.
All right, everyone. That was great. That was awesome. If anyone have any more questions as we before we close out. All right, excellent. Well, I'm very happy for those that hopped on here. It shows that you're learning based, shows that you want to get better and you want to sharpen those skills, and you definitely are going to sharpen those skills. So, this is going to be our spring market. Everyone's going to do a great job. Everyone's going to be prepared. They're going to know what to say, and you're going to get it. You're just going to flat out get those listings. So just believe that you can, and that's all. That's half the heavy lifting. So, hey, everyone, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you next time. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
Adam, where are you going to put this recording?
This recording, so that we'll have Caitlin send out this recording at some point, either tonight or tomorrow, but by latest by the end of the week.
But will it be in our office group, Facebook group, or where?
Most likely the private Facebook group or
Okay.
an email, one of those two. Yep. Thanks, Yuri.
Okay, thanks, Adam.
All right, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Take care. Bye.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on here.
Yeah.
I don't have a microphone up front, so I'm just shadowing up there. But anyway, with the recording, we'll put it on the YouTube channel.
Okay.
And I'll email out the link and put it on our Facebook page and make sure that it's tagged, but it'll probably take me a day or two.
Okay.
Wanted
yeah,
to make sure I let you know.
yeah. Recording will go out. YouTube and
Thank you,
it will be an
Caitlin.
email. Cool. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Hey, bye.
Great
Bye.
job, guys. Yep. Bye-bye.